Hello. Pardon me, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm, like, presentable after wolfing down a bunch of Panda Express. I don't want, what's that saying? Like, I don't want to, oh, I have a little friend and, I brought a friend with me to dinner or something. I don't want anything in my teeth. I think we're good, though. I think we're good. But hello to Hoktari and Ocelot and Monsieur JP. Green protagonist, Sublink. Greetings to you. Mom there has gifted me a pot pie, says Silver. That's Silver's voice off the top of my head. I have no idea what Silver looks like. Silver could be gold for all I know. This is gross. I'm doing weird, gross mouth things. I apologize. Okay. Okay. We're good. I'm sitting in front of my CRT scraping game data for Atari 2600. That sounds captivating. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes on that one and see if that's something I would enjoy doing. I'm not sure. I believe in you, though. Howdy, B-dubs. A wave to you. A few hearts, 2 and 3 and 4. Hi. Welcome to this. Another exciting, exhilarating episode of the Yizbird Games community stream. I am your host, Fizz the Human. And I'm that, like, level of, like, punchy tired today. So, we'll have ways of dealing in the form of canned bubbly drinks. But yeah, if this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome. And we have an exciting episode today, but I will go into that in just a little bit. Yizbird Games is a video game publishing company. If you're here, you've probably heard of them, but maybe you just kind of meandered your way around the internet and found yourself here to hang out with me and with us and chat. But it's a publishing company that has published games you may have heard of as well. Valhalla, Cyberpunk Bard Interaction. Nirvana, Cyberpunk Bard Interaction. She Remembered Caterpillars. No Place for Bravery, World of Horror, which comes out October 19th of this year. Hallelujah. Demon School, which comes out later this year. Hallelujah. Masquerada of Songs and Shadows, Y2K Postmodern RPG. I'm sure I'm missing one. I'm always missing one. No Place for Bravery. There we are. I am also so excited for World of Horror. Happy to, like, I've played it plenty on, like, PC, but, like, I'm looking forward to the handheld. The Switch version. Though, if you have a Steam Deck, you'd be playing that handheld. Robert Merlot just got one of those, and I've been trying to come up with, like I can't trick him into playing Final Fantasy 14, so that's not gonna happen. But, like, I don't know. We've been trying to, like, brainstorm what to put on it to play. But, like, FF14 while lying in bed sounds like the best reason to have one, but I don't know. So I've got my Switch forward, PS5. So my PS5 is just a Final Fantasy machine at this point, 14 and 16. But yeah. If you're a part of the folks hanging out in chat at the moment, know that you could be chatting at all times, at all hours, and with all of these people and more over on the Discord, discord.gg/YizbirdGames. Just do what one of my friends did. Go over and put it on his PC when he wasn't paying attention. Absolutely joking, dear God. Plural. But they did do that, and now said friend is 2 years into the game. That's good. Like, only I don't condone secretly putting anything on a friend's computer. But if you did, Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, plus its expansions, which are critically acclaimed from what I hear, are not the worst thing you could do to somebody's computer. Fizz has a new recipe out. Fizz cauliflower? I feel like a joke was made and has mutated several times, and I lost track of where we are. Unless there's a pun in there that I don't recognize with cauliflower. You may have to explain that one to me. It could just be that I'm exhausted, but that's okay. Because I've got enough energy for this, and that's what's important. If you want to catch up on previous episodes, Fizz cauliflower. Is this like Fizz California flower, Winter Soldier activated, awaiting orders? Yeah, okay. Fizz Khalifa. There we go. Yeah. That's correct. How did you guess my last name? That's so weird. Screw Kellen Stevens, voice actor. Fizz Khalifa. That's who's inhabiting this seat. I don't know anything of theirs, or else I would continue on with references. I know I have seen... I have heard music by them. I have seen music videos of them. I remember that happened. I don't actually remember what I heard or saw. But yeah. What else did I already hit the Discord. Oh, I was about to say you can catch previous episodes over on YouTube. I don't know if I said that, but you can. youtube.com/YesBridGames. There's a whole channel for us, which includes past playthroughs of not just myself, but of previous hosts as well. So you can watch, if you're like, man, I really like this group of folks, and I need a playthrough to put on while I'm, I don't know, on a road trip, or like watching something else at the same time, because we can do that. I don't know. Looking for something to accompany watching a stream, but that's out there for you. And then as far as the company itself goes, you can always catch the Twitter and Facebook, both .com/YesBridGames, for news and announcements and all that kind of good stuff, as well as anytime Rob likes to make funny joke and to put on the internet time to time over there. It's good stuff. He's got that good sense for the cheeky Twitter tomfoolery banter with the other Twitter folks. But yeah, I think that covers everything. I think I even snuck in the World of Horror release date announcement. Oh, all those games I listed before, you can wish list them over on Steam, which I believe the Steam Summer Steam Summer Sale is still in session for a specific several days. I don't know. I was looking for one more alliteration. I do have water. But yeah, that said, today is episode 4 of Myst Masterpiece Edition, and what looks like it's going to be the final episode of Myst Masterpiece Edition, because we're just about at the tail end. We solved a maze-like puzzle, and I'll go over that in a minute, because I'm going to bring on our guest. This is the person who's been traveling with us along this journey for the last 3 episodes. I hope that you give a warm chat welcome to Alahmnat. Let me go and bug them on Discord real fast and make sure we are Gucci. Where's my DMs? I'm gonna slide in there real fast. Good to go? A question mark. He typed narratively. Sweet. And we should be golden. Hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. There's going to be a little bit more pauses between words today, just because my brain is toast. We're gonna fix that a little bit. I didn't quite give the usual introduction to you, but I shall do so right now. Alahmnat is the guild master of the Guild of Archivists, an amazing group of folks who have considered it their, I don't know what, like life mission, I don't know, calling. I don't know if anything is that.
All right.
Calling to to record in pristine detail as much information as is humanly and inhumanly possible regarding the Cyan Worlds series of games, including this one, Myst. So having like the greatest historian one could ever ask for in the co-pilot seat has been a thrill. So we welcome you back, Alahmnat. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, well, shucks. Always a pleasure having you. We can just fire the niceties back and forth. That said, what was I going to say? I had something, tip of my tongue, and it was in regards to the website. We wanted to post the link in chat for the actual archive.
Sure. It's
archive.guildofarchivists.org.
archive.guildofarchivists.org for those listening on the stream. I don't know if Ocelot has it queued up or not, but I can punch it in if she doesn't.
Sounds good. And I have just noticed that my gain was turned up. It is now not so we should be nice in that yellow range. Thanks for pointing that out, Ocelot. I appreciate that. And ooh, Al sliding in first with the quick draw. But Ocelot in right afterward, like it was within the same second, and Ocelot includes even the extra, the main page. But that does imply that was copied and pasted, which there were no rules against. So mayhap that doesn't disqualify. Was there like a 3, 2, 1 go and you both hit enter? I don't know. It's good. Yeah, no, well done. Yeah, archive.guildofarchivists.org. And that has information that I'm not allowed to look at, so I am avoiding looking at that. So
for anybody who's not familiar with the Myst series, it does have unmarked spoilers, so tread carefully.
But to make sure that I can survive this final route, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to recall which one was which, but yes, don't listen to my brother. No, please, don't bring the red cans. No, I please free me. I need you to bring the blue cans. I need you to collect the blue Red Bulls for me. I need the sips of the blue Red Bulls. I promise. I'm not the one that deserved to be locked in here. But I ask that you not listen to my brother. He is wrong about the blue Red Bulls. Please do not bring me the blue Red Bulls, only the red Red Bulls. I require only these to free me and give me more energy. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And, water is good.
Mm.
So I'll still be, washing things down. But,
The funny thing is that Rand has said that he doesn't really like doing the acting stuff, which is hilarious to me because he's actually quite good. He just tends to freeze up, especially when he's, dealing with other actors working against him. But in Myst, like, he plays Akinar and he does Atris, who you saw in the Imager near the beginning. And they're two completely different characters, and he plays them very well.
Yeah. It's nice because, like, since they're family members, like, you get that they're brothers, and then, like, you can also play the dad and be and look like yourself. So it works out nicely on that regard. But yeah, no, it's cheesy as hell, but I have loved what they've done on those videos. So that's been like that. It's how do I'm trying to figure out, like, the best way to phrase this while still paying them a very high compliment. Like, you don't need to win an Oscar to have an incredibly enjoyable performance. And that, I think, is what, like, if they don't enjoy acting, I mean, that's entirely on them, sure. But if it's about, the belief in oneself, and I'll extend this to any of you out there in the world, if you are concerned that your acting is not, up to snuff in any way, shape, or form, just have fun with it. Even if you are concerned, or even if you're not concerned, just have fun with it. I say that to actors, musicians, what have you. Like, you're doing your craft. You can enjoy it, and when you enjoy it, everybody enjoys it, no matter what skill level. And if anybody doesn't enjoy somebody enjoying acting, then, screw them. You can write that down as something I said once. Sure. Alrighty. We're playing Myst. Green protagonist, you drink the blue Red Bull, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You drink the red Red Bull, you stay in Wonderland, and we show you just how deep the rabbit hole goes. I need glasses for that. I don't have more
What about
glasses.
The red blue bull?
We don't talk about the red blue bull, okay? Don't even mention that on. Twitch is sending their moderators over as we speak. I want this channel censored.
Cops.
Okay. Cheese it, it's the cops. All right, and now your spirit and body have split. Roll to haunt Doctor Strange. I don't have my dice readily available as I did the other day. That's okay. I don't know what I need to pass for what save would be to. I guess it wouldn't be a save, because I'm not getting haunted. I'm doing the haunting. I don't know. I'm getting distracted. It's Myst time. We're here. There's in the tags. If you ever look at tags of streams, one of them says ADHD, and I'm here twice a week to prove why I have that tag in there. Also, before I get started, thank you to Sir Garrett Cameron for the Prime sub at 19 months. I saw it and I greatly appreciate it. And there you go. I wanted to make sure that I gave you a shout out for that. I think I also missed, like, I was looking through my setup stuff, and I think I forgot to call out that Professor Dunn cheered 100 bits last time and got no recognition for it. But here's the love for you, Professor Dunn. You're not in chat right now, probably, but thank you for those 100 bits last stream. Every little bit, but counts.
The bits, the
Alrighty.
bits, the bits.
Putting on the bits. Alrighty. So, last time on Masterpiece Theater, we got out of the cave of the, it started with an S, I think, right? It was the
Selenitic age.
selenitic. Thank you.
Mhm.
My brain was about to go like salubrious or something, but you know, I like selenitic. Selenitic age. So we've technically then accomplished that age, I think.
Yes, we got through and we did one page. I think you grabbed Akiner's page and brought it back. So
did we watch that yet?
I don't remember.
I don't
I
remember
think we
either.
did, but we can watch it again just to be sure.
Sure. I don't have the page, so I'm assuming that we did, but I can. Yeah, we can play this once more.
You're wasting my time and yours. Just put the brass book in the middle shelf. Put pattern 158 into the fireplace.
I guess we did.
Time. Just get the blue page. Leave everything else there.
I did what he said. I put the blue Red Bull right into my stomach.
I forgot they get cranky if you come back.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I'm glad. So we've now made sure we didn't miss secret video.
Now we would want to go back and
rocket,
and
correct?
grab. Yep.
Okay.
And remember that we can use the audio cues to navigate the maze, so we aren't stuck there for an hour and a half this time.
Yes. And thanks for
It's
accompanying
fine.
me on that maze. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it last time. I may have, but I am so incredibly happy that it just so happened that the piecing together of how the puzzle worked happened while on the right path. Like,
Yeah.
technically, I did a few extra little branches, but looking at my map here, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like maybe 7 branches, maybe less, 5 to 7 branches of extra, like, going there and coming back. And that,
there's not technically that much more than the main path, but it can get really frustrating really quickly.
I can imagine.
So, I was trying my darndest to let you figure things out at your own pace without just letting you map the entire maze, because that would have taken a while.
Yes. No, I think honestly, I think just asking the like, so what is your thought process right now was like the perfect way to address that, because I like being able to like map, not literally but figuratively, what my thoughts are on that definitely let me put things into a much nicer perspective. Turns out rubber ducking works really well for ADD people. Define rubber ducking.
Rubber ducking is basically when you just talk to. Some people just have a rubber duck on their desk, and they talk to the rubber duck to explain the problem to it, and in the process of explaining it, you figure out what it is that you need to do to solve it.
Absolutely. Then I concur. Chat, unfortunately, doesn't count as a rubber duck because chat gets stream of consciousness and not focused explanations. But
yeah.
But having you here helps, and having specific questions from chat helps for sure. Let's see. That said, I am clicking aimlessly, so let me not do that. I need to. Actually, is this the? No, it's the chasm one, I think I called it before, right? Or the...
This is Chasm.
This is Chasm.
If you're looking for the red page, it is at the Oasis one, the little waterfall trickle,
Gotcha.
which is backwards from here.
Backwards.
It's the first path that you encounter coming from the spaceship.
I'm trying to recall.
That one.
Okay. This is where I came from, right?
Correct. So, and then left here.
This way.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
cool. Did I...
Oh wait, no, this was Akinar's.
Gotcha. Okay, because I was gonna say that's okay. we can search around a little bit. That'll give me... Was it in the building?
No, it's up here.
Okay. Not this way though.
Check the crystal one, I think.
Not this one. It was that's the... I think I called that wind chimes, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's sort of the fluty noise.
Yeah. Is that up here? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. Where... If I were a red page... Did I just turn myself around?
Yeah. I think it is like right on top of the
Ah, yes, you were
thingy.
correct.
There you go.
Alrighty. And then... if I...
Other way.
Other way, yes. There we go. This way. Because then here is how we got to the maze. It's all coming back to me now. I like how many clicks it takes. It feels more like if you don't have many ways of using language of like making something seem more important, having more clicks so that it takes more effort to approach, like, that's cool.
And it also gives you a better sense of just, the size of a place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think the one thing that it's very easy to do with like a point and click game is to just like arbitrarily decide, well, this one we're just gonna jump you 150 feet ahead, and it can be very disorienting, and it just kind of throws off your sense of space. And that's something that I think that the first two games especially did a very, very good job of, is maintaining that sense of space properly.
Alrighty, and I still have my my whiteboard map here too, so I can kind of cheat a little bit. So that'll remind me of what my sound effects meant. That was going to be the west sound. Yeah, which is part of why we suggest not having zip mode on. You don't get that sense of space. Gotcha. Yeah, I forgot that there was even like a different traversal method quote. Oh, I didn't mark that sound effect there.
Yep, that's just north.
I guess I just never noticed it.
Yep.
Or only noticed it after a bit. Basically jumps you to the ends of paths. Yeah, like at that point I feel like you would just want to like do like just have a map and like click on a waypoint on the map or something.
Yeah. I know. So the way that they did zip mode in Myst 4 is actually kind of similar to that. They just have a little like film strip of locations that you can zip to.
Gotcha.
At any time, which is nice. Because it does kind of let you traverse longer spaces. Whereas in Myst Riven and Myst 3 Exile, you just get a little lightning bolt icon when you're going to move forward, and that's your indication that you're going to jump more than just one scene.
Gotcha. Do you find that sorry, I got distracted by chat for a second. Do you find that like the zip mode or any of those like alternate like traversal modes are ever like the best way to go about it, or is it a lot more like this is specifically for folks who are going and doing another playthrough?
I think it's mainly personal preference. Like especially if you are kind of living in this space for a much longer period of time, you know, it can be a little tedious to kind of like trek back and forth all over the place. And so, you know, in those cases, you know, if you're at it for hours and hours and hours a day, day in, day out, then I think, you know, the zip mode is more useful. But it, like I said, it's really kind of personal preference how much you enjoy, you know, trucking across areas time and time and time again.
That's fair. Like I can imagine, you know, if I knew that there was more to explore, like in a playthrough, or I did an ending and I wanted to swiftly get back to here or something. Then,
Yeah.
Does it like for instance, I would potentially think about turning it on just for Channelwood, and then turn it back off.
Question in the chat: in terms of lore for Myst, are there community ranks? Is there a master level lore specialist? Within the Destiny community, the highest community authority outside developer space is just called Lore Daddy. Yeah, I love that My Name is Bife has just kind of been saddled with the honorary of Lore Daddy. The honorific of Lore Daddy. It's just very entertaining to me. There's not really in like the Guild of Archivists isn't really big enough to have a need for ranks or anything like that. I'm kind of the Grandmaster is what the Dunny Guild like head honcho of a guild would be named, and I kind of have claimed that title for myself just because nobody else was using it. So
Plus, that was for a while. That was like the tippy top of Ultima skill levels. It's Grandmaster.
Yeah, there. In terms of the Dunny Guild system, there are cadets and captains and guild masters, and then grandmasters, and then in their system of government, 5 of those grandmasters would be elected to serve as lords of the guild council.
Oops. Wait, hang on. South. That's
Southeast, I think. Or northeast, yes.
Cool. You can tell I'm paying attention because I just tried to drive straight into a closed door. But
But if I want to.
Yeah. At least I'm now on like rough autopilot with the sound effects. So it's a good place to be for this puzzle.
But yeah, there are. I'm trying to remember. I think there's 8 or 9 ranks, but we don't know the names of all of them. And like I said, the Guild of Archivists itself is just small enough that it's not really something that I really bother with making sure we have some kind of strict hierarchy. It's just if you're here, you're here.
southeast. Cool.
We made it. See, it's so much
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
I will say, the funny thing about these sounds is that these are also the same sounds that are used in the Mechanical Age.
Yeah, I did notice that. Same with the like this at this stage of the game, having these like very specific sound effects from sorry, I just wanted to see if there was anything on the sides here.
Oh, that's all right.
Like the sound effects that you have to choose from for the various parts of this island, seemingly being just whatever they had lying around, if you will.
Yeah. But so the funny thing is, a lot of people think that you have to do the Mechanical Age in order to be able to successfully navigate the Selenitic maze. But the maze actually does teach you which sounds you need to use for which direction, and also the Mechanical Age didn't originally have the sounds in it. They took the sounds from the Selenitic Age and put them in Mechanical because while you could reasonably train yourself into getting the timings perfect for rotating the fortress on the Mac, for whatever reason on the PC, the playback wasn't exactly the same between the simulator and the actual gear room controls, and so they added the sounds from the Selenitic maze to Mechanical to give you more feedback so that you could, lock the thing back down and get a noise and let you know exactly which way you were facing.
I'm trying to remember what the puzzle was on that one. It was because I remember there was a thing that you had to practice moving, or you could practice using to get the feel for it.
Yeah, you had the fortress rotation simulator because you had to spin the fortress around to get to the different islands to get the code to leave.
Right. Okay. And, meanwhile, 2 weeks prior, 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I've been playing this for eons now, but.
Time for Mr. Suave.
Yeah.
You finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude, for you have nearly released me. My name is Fizz. I trust that from your explorations you've become convinced that my wicked brother Alahmnat is guilty, and I am innocent. It is I who am wrongly imprisoned here. Imprisoned by my father. I don't know who you are, or how you came to this island, but I assume you must at least know something of the books. It was father who was a master of the books. He wrote hundreds, all describing and linking to the fantastic places and ages which he had discovered. The room in which you now stand was our father's library. It was here, in this room, on this island named Myst, that he housed most of these books. But such a waste. By now, you have surely discovered that Alahmnat has burnt and mutilated most of these books. Why? Our father was always watchful of our explorations. We grew up under his strict supervision. But when we came of age, he gave us unbridled access to the Myst books. He began to leave our adventures more and more unchecked. Unsupervised as we were, my brother began to become disturbed. He began to take more from the Myst ages than he had given. Soon he gained a twisted pleasure from the conquest and destruction of the other ages. It was horrific. His thirst for destruction alas, even I discovered his insanity too late. He had completely destroyed all of the Myst ages but 4. I wasted no time. In warning my father, I thought he would recognize Alahmnat's guilt. But in a fit of rage, he imprisoned both my brother and myself within the pages of these books, designed to hold us until he could judge which of us was guilty. To discover the truth, our father embarked on one final chapter. However, he has never returned. I can only assume that he perished along the way, leaving me, an innocent victim, trapped forever. But now, you are here to release me. Listen carefully. You must find one more page and I will be forever free. There is a book on the shelves. In this library, which is mostly burned but has a few pages still intact. It is the last book on the middle shelf. Find it. This book is filled with a variety of patterns. Find pattern 158 and recreate it on the door of the fireplace. This will bring you to the last red page. Bring that page to me, and I will finally be released and able to reward you, of course. Ignore the blue page. That page finishes my brother's book. It chills me to even think what would happen if you were to release him. There is another warning. Where the red and blue pages reside, also resides a green book. If you touch the green book, you also will be imprisoned forever. Our father gave us this same warning long ago. I suggest you follow his advice. Go now. Soon we will be face to face.
How many Myst fans to this day have we not heard from since they clicked on the green book and got trapped in there? Have we freed them yet? Are they okay? Have we at least checked in on them? Like,
Do they need some water?
yeah, exactly. Hydration check for the green page folks. So
now
oh,
we
go
are
ahead.
officially
Yeah.
in. Now we are officially in the end game. So at this point, it might not be a bad idea to drop a new save.
I like it. Let's go here. We'll go end game. There we are. And then so I'm gonna ask a few questions just for some logistics.
Okay.
How many endings are there?
There are 4.
Okay. Would it behoove me to make like a few saves right now, or can we just do them
No,
and then
you
come
can
back
just
to this one?
you can just load back to this one once you've done one.
Okay, sounds good. I am going to make a second save of this one. There we go. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Just to make sure I don't accidentally save over something or click something.
Always good to have
poorly.
backups.
Yeah, exactly. So another couple questions. That last I guess video is correct. I didn't realize Cirrus would be so much more of the lore dump guy than Akinar was. Or is it that I did Akinar first? Like, is there an alternate order of that? Where
No, it's the same videos regardless of which way you play them.
Okay. Because Akinar, I don't, unless he mentioned it and I didn't catch it last time. I don't think he said
So
all that stuff about their dad, did he?
Akinar said that Cirrus killed their dad, but didn't do so quickly enough to avoid him basically trapping both of them in these books as punishment.
Okay.
Because he didn't know who had actually dealt that blow to him.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whereas Sirius is like, yeah, no, our dad couldn't figure out which one of us screwed everything up for him, so he trapped us both in here and then left to figure it out and hasn't come back.
Okay.
So they don't necessarily agree with one another on what happened.
Yeah. No, that's because I think that's the first time that like the I mean, I guess they hadn't really like delved into what the events were, but now that they've both given a series of events, they differ quite a lot.
Yeah. The only thing there's only a couple of things that they really agreed on, and one of them is the fireplace.
Yeah, fair. And am I correct that they both gave me the same number?
Yes.
Okay. I guess then over here, because I know one of the pages, or one of the books here, which was this one?
No, it's the one on the far right of that shelf.
Far right of that shelf. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Did they say? Oh, hello. Interesting. Do any of these do anything?
Not in the original game, no. Only pattern 158 does something.
Okay.
There are 300 patterns in this book.
That's a really good way to discourage brute forcing that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
So I would go ahead and write that down.
Yeah, I'm just.
Or take a screenshot, or however you want to do it.
We're gonna use technology.
Yeah, the first time you got into the fireplace and started doodling on it, I was a little freaked out because I thought you were actually putting this pattern in.
Oh, that's funny. I promise you I wouldn't I wouldn't cheese the game that hard.
Yeah.
Unless they decided to write Fizz as one of the patterns, in which case I believe I would earn my right to solve the game.
No, you would, yeah.
Save
but
this.
yeah, this is the only one that does anything.
Oh, I saved both of them, but we really only need 158, huh? That's fair. For some reason I was stuck on the idea of like, oh, there's two patterns here. One is for one and one is for the other brother, but no, so it's just that 158. Cool. Oh, go ahead.
And it's funny, you can actually speed run the game without going to any of the ages once you know the pattern number.
That makes sense now that because I don't know if I talked about it last time, but Ocelot was telling me that there was a speedrun event at Mysterium, which was the Cyan Worlds convention, fan convention that recently happened, and that the speedrun time for all of the games that were there, which I want to say there was like, was it like 7 games featured or something like that, 6 or 7? I want to say.
There's several of them, yeah.
Yeah. All done under an hour. Like all of them together was under an hour. So.
Oh yeah.
Like I see now. Oh, this is just, clicking this pattern and go, which valid speedrun. I'm not the police on what constitutes a speedrun.
Yeah.
If people want to call it a speedrun, works for me.
That's the any percent.
Yeah.
Because I think there are categories for both the any percent and doing all of the ages.
Which, I was thinking about it. Like, for some point-and-click games, it would just be like, okay, like, I'll use Valhalla as an example. People have speedran, Valhalla, which that's just like holding down skip text and then putting the drink orders in correctly, putting them in correctly, and that, like. While yes, that's you can certainly you can
like speed running Moby Dick.
Yeah, like you can like speedrunning a visual novel is like you can be faster at it than someone else, and usually a speed run of a video game counts once you hit credits, so you can do it, and there is a community of at least one person who has a time for it.
There's always somebody.
Exactly. That said, thinking about it with Myst, there aren't just clicking puzzles. Like, there are puzzles of, how accurately can you maneuver this mouse in time. How, we were just talking about the rotational fortress puzzle there.
Yeah.
So seeing people do those that you would like, it might take me a few tries to make sure I fine-tuned something, but like perfect execution on that, like you've drummed up some interest from me.
Yeah,
for that kind of
there's
thing.
a certain level of skill involved.
Yeah. It may not be skill that is as applicable to things outside of it than others, but
Well, I didn't
skill.
say anything about
Yeah,
how
exactly.
how useful the skill
Exactly.
is, but it is still a skill.
Absolutely. At this juncture of the story, is there anything to explore out in Myst Island besides heading to that fireplace? Slash, is there another book I should read before that?
Nope, it's just the fireplace.
Cool. Fireplace it is. Look at that. And here we are. Alrighty, we begin. Okay. I apologize, chat, for the sound effect storm you're about to weather, but... I hope it doesn't bother anybody what order I kind of put these in. I want to say that's, yeah, we got our piece there, we got our piece there, we got this, we got that, and that. Cool. Yo.
All right, so you've got a choice to make.
Alrighty. Do you have a Oh, this is blue. I see now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got a blue page, a red page, and a green book.
Alrighty. Do you have a suggested order, or are we just gonna play around with all these?
I mean, I'm gonna leave it to you to decide what you want to do based on, how you've concluded things should go.
Yeah. So I will say this. My philosophy in life is, when in doubt, pick the blue one. However, that is a shortened version of my true philosophy, which is, given the choice between two objects of equal value, pick the blue one. We have an object here that is blue. However, I feel that these pages are less interesting to me than the book, which, despite it not being blue, is my choice. So we'll go with this one for the first one.
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to Dunny. Not yet. I have many questions for you, my friend. As you no doubt have for me. Where should I begin? Perhaps my story is in order. My name is Atris. I fear you've met my son, Cirrus and Akinar, in the red and blue books on Myst Island. In my library. It contains my works, my writings. I wrote many books that linked me to fantastic places. It's an art I learned from my father many years ago. But the red and blue books, those were different. I wrote those books to entrap over-greedy explorers that might stumble upon my island of Myst. But I had no idea my own sons would be entrapped. My sons, Cirrus and Achenar, we had many journeys together. I gave them free rein to the books. Perhaps it was not wise. I could see the greed growing in them. I had not told them about the red and blue books. Their imaginations went wild. They dreamed of riches and power. Of course, they did not know the books were traps. They begged me for access to those books, and I, of course, denied them. Oh, they devised a plan. An evil plan. I had no idea to what extent their greed had progressed. Their own mother. He was their own mother. Oh, my dear Catherine. To lure me here to Dunny. Of course, I could return to Myst, except that they removed a single page from my Myst linking book. I cannot return without that page. You, my friend, can bring that page to me. Oh, I pray you believe my story above the lies that my sons have told you. If you could find it in yourself to return that page to me here in Dunny, I could go to Myst and bring justice to my sons for what they have done. I must return to my writing. I pray that you believe me. Please hurry. Bring the page. Bring the page with you.
I can't. Are you having connection issues?
Hello?
No, you're good. I was talking.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I know. I was talking to Atris here. He's kind of
Ah.
frozen, though. It looks like Zoom
Yeah,
is still working.
He's writing.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, we won't bother him for a minute. So he said there was a green page still to be found. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And my assumption then. And it was still out in the island of Myst. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's one thing that you haven't played with yet, and that is the marker switch vault.
Right. That's right. But I did learn how to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, that was turn all of them on and then the last one off. And the last one being the one closest to here, I believe.
Nope.
Okay. Well, as long as I've got all of them on, it should just be a matter of finding which one I have to turn off.
You should still have it in the screen cap.
You're right. You're both right. I see you and Ocelot screaming at me to check my
Read
notes.
your notes, dang it!
Yeah. You took them for
That's
a
what we
reason.
take them for.
Yeah. Let's see, where's my notes on that? I gotta find them. There we go. To the dock. To the dock we go. That was not this way. Hang on, that was...
Yeah.
Or was it? No.
Nope.
There it is. I see it. This way. Aha! This isn't green.
Nope, it's not.
That's okay.
Because it's not technically for the green book.
Oh. I see. I actually curious. Let me see if without looking, I want to see if I can remember what this looked like. I remember this was here. That was like that. That was. I remember there was like a 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of a thing. Let me see how close I got it. I'm missing a few. That. I was close though. There we go.
You were, yeah.
And that. Wait, no. That. There we go. Yes. I probably would have won that Mario Party minigame unless there was a computer player. But alrighty. Well, Atris, here.
Have you found the missing page? Come.
There you be, buddy. Oh yeah, I apologize. The Blitch Witch chimes in that she is always a Mario Party champion. This is true. I bow to your might. Okay. I would like to have a word with whoever did the flooring.
That's actually one of the environmental artists, Chuck Carter.
That's beautiful. In universe.
In universe, it's supposed to be the first king of Dunny.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, here are. Life has many doors, Ed boy. Let's see. Is this? Oh wait. Oh, there we are.
There he is, man of the hour.
I didn't see you there. My peripheral vision hit. Oh wait, hang on. I wanna see that little animation of him looking up.
Give me the page. Please give the page.
You got it, buddy.
The page, my friend. The page. Give me the page. Please give the page.
Oh, okay. Now it loops.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was always the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a difficult choice to make.
That's so good.
My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly.
Changed the world. My final message. Can I follow?
Nope.
Okay.
You just gotta wait for him to come back.
Do I literally wait?
Yeah, I mean, you can walk around a little bit while you wait.
Okay. Like game programming wise, is it just like start a timer, or is it like waiting for me to check something? Okay.
There he is. Now he's back.
So it's a fire marble, says Ocelot, the red things.
I think we might have goofed the video, actually.
What have I done? Well, if that is the case...
We can always go back.
Yeah! Let's do it.
I And now we can grab the page first thing, and we don't have to worry about doing it twice.
Are there any messages that change from, like, I don't know how you knew how to find this, but I'm glad you did. Like, okay.
Sadly, no.
Another question. Were the videos scripted
Yes.
ahead of time?
Yes.
Okay, because he kind of has a little bit of the like the timing of someone who is thinking of their words while
Oh yeah, I love
while
it.
improvising a little bit. Like, but if that's a choice, then well done, because it came across.
Yeah. And like it's all one take too, which is
Eh.
a lot to get through in one take.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. Some people can do that and knock it out in an hour. The sun would be coming up by the time I was happy with my take. Alrighty, let's.
Yeah, they just had a green screen that they set up in their basement and did all of the filming against.
Let me check again and see that I did that.
I think you got it.
Yeah, I think I got it too. Cool. I technically had it up on my other screen, but I didn't look at it until I was done. So you out there in the world have no proof of that, but I got it that time. Atris Party Champion. All right.
Yeah, now this time we'll just like walk up and stay there.
Yeah. Plus we get to see his animation of him coming back. Blitchwitch says he reminds her a lot of Edward's dad from FMA. Yeah, he does have a very Hohenheim-esque.
Ah, my friend. You returned. And the page. Did you bring the page? Ah, give it to me. Give me the page.
Well, now I don't want it.
Please, give the page.
So I missed that, because I guess I started that
Yeah, you kind of
video before
like
and then...
jumped away
Yeah.
before he as he was starting.
Choice to make. My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly.
I'm not like it's not necessarily a funny thing. I don't know. It's just that the timing.
Mm.
He just sits there contemplative. My sons have betrayed me. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Like,
Yeah.
Well, we will chill, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's back.
It is done. I have many questions for you, my friend. But my writing cannot wait. I fear that my long delay may have already had a catastrophic impact on the world in which my wife, Catherine, is now being held hostage. Oh, in reward, I'm sorry, but all I have to offer you is the library on the island of Myst, the books that are contained there. Feel free to explore at your leisure. I hope you find your explorations satisfying. You will no longer have my sons to deal with.
That's not ominous.
Oh, and one more favor. I am fighting a foe much greater than my sons could even imagine. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance. Until that point, feel free to enjoy the explorations from my library on Myst. Thank you again.
All right. You can
The book. You can use the Myst linking book to return to Myst.
Oh. Thank you. Anything else, buddy? Do you need me to proofread anything? Or you Gucci?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Then back we go.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then they both died. The end.
Yep. The end.
Actually the end.
Actually, the end. That's it.
That's
Game over.
great. That's amazing.
And that's the good end.
Hey, hang on a sec. You know, I appreciate you coming and finding me. Feel free to run around the island. I'm not going to tell you how to get home. I may have to conscript you later.
Yeah.
But until then, yeah, you can chill. Yeah, I'm sorry. Dude, my kids are annoying. One sec. I'll make sure they're not bothering you. Okay, awesome. Yeah, John, see ya. It comes up in much later games for what it's worth. That's good. They're not dead. They're just irretrievable. Yeah, you know, that's fine. I don't know if you can I feel like you can still charge him for, I don't know, like neglect or something for making his kids irretrievable versus just dead. What era is Atris from? Like, of our world, assuming he's from our world initially. And if he's not, then...
So Atris was born on Earth.
Mhm.
He is the son of a man named Gen, who you will meet when we get around to Riven, whenever
Okay.
that might be. Gen is the son of another man named Atris, because that's not confusing. And Atris's wife's name was Anna, and she was from Earth. While Atris, the grandfather, is from Dunny.
Okay.
So they met, and they fell in love and got married. There's a whole book about it. And then, let's see, yada yada yada. Civilization collapsed, and Anna and Gen escaped to the surface.
Okay.
Because Dunny is also actually on Earth. It's just down there.
So it's underground, is that?
Yes, it is
Okay.
underground. I'm actually sitting here staring at the map that I have framed from one of the Myst novels that has the entire path down to it.
Oh, cool.
It's very nice.
Is that
I don't
something
know.
I shouldn't know about at the moment? Or not shouldn't know about, but like if I wanted to look at that on the wiki, is that...
Oh yeah, no, you can look at that. I don't know if Ocelot will be able to pull it up or if I should go looking for a version of it.
I'm gonna try... would you suggest I not click anything on in that direction? Like,
Let
'cause
me
it does
see
say
if I can
browse
just
by
grab
novel.
Let me see if I can just grab a link.
Okay. In the meantime, we're gonna go back to...
So I put a link in chat to a copy of it that was posted on Reddit apparently.
Oh,
This is
beautiful.
it's gorgeous. This was drawn by Robin Miller, the guy who played Cirrus, and who also did the art for Stone Ship and Channelwood. Chuck Carter was the other artist who did all the art for Mechanical Age and Selenetic.
Is this purchasable anywhere?
Unfortunately, no. This came as an insert in the hardcover version of the Book of Tiana, which is the second Myst novel.
Okay.
I don't think it's available anywhere, unless,
Be like eBay or something.
yeah, you can probably find one on eBay, unless they've put it up on the Science store, which I don't think they have. But let me look for you, just to be sure. Sadly, no.
Okay. This is so
Um,
cool.
it is an incredible little artifact to just like pour over, because all of this lettering on here, this is all in Dunny, which is its own language. It's not just like, typing English words into another font. This is actually
Sure.
a different language, which was developed by a guy named Richard Watson. Everybody calls him Rawa.
Okay.
But yeah, this is really the first glimpse that we had of Dunny as a place. And that little, like that orange cave on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
that is Dunny. That is the main cavern that everyone lived in,
Okay.
with that island and then the city there on the north side.
I'm looking to see if anything catches my eye as far as like where I just was, if that.
Oh no. So where you were with Atris is on an island called Kavir, and it's just one of the little islands. I'm not even sure if it's visible on this map, but it's one of the islands in that lake.
Shadowhawk says, I regret not getting the super special edition of the Myst Anniversary Collection from Kickstarter with the inkwell and pen. Can I just who can travel me back in time to before the Kickstarter so I can like it's the amount of cool things that came with that apparently, and I Myst was I knew the name and that's it. That's
Yeah.
Oh, there's a link to where it was. I'm gonna be real sad now. This was let's see. This was what, 5 years ago, right? 6
Something
years ago,
like
5
that,
years
yeah.
ago? So you guys just had a
5 years,
30th
because this is the
anniversary?
30th anniversary.
Yeah, yeah. All 7 Myst games together, special a linking book. Ah, that's so cool. It's a die cut window. It holds the games.
It has a little video screen in it that'll play videos from a USB stick.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's very, very neat.
I'm not going to bring the page over to show off on stream just because I'm just sort of haphazardly scrolling. But do check that out if you're interested in that sort of thing. Have you played Tunic by chance?
I have not. It is on
Okay.
my to-do list,
Okay.
which is why I didn't watch you stream it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, stay far away from the stream, but watching the with the Dunny script and everything like that, it just immediately brought me over to that Tunic as well has an entirely translatable language of its own.
That's really cool.
And I think Green Protagonist in chat will also join me in screaming at anybody who will listen to us to play it. Channelwood Age graphic pop t-shirt. That's beautiful. I don't want to look in the mirror at me wearing a t-shirt and have flashbacks to getting lost in the woods. But it is beautiful. Oh, there's so many cool things on this store. Okay, I'm gonna get. We're playing a video game here. Let me not
Yeah.
get distracted by window shopping. Let's see. What time is it right now? It is 7. I'm thinking. So you said there were 4 endings, though.
Yes.
All right. I say we do one more ending. Then we'll
Okay.
do, which I'm assuming is grab one of these pages
Mm-hmm.
and take it back with me. Can I? Okay, I can just swap between those. We'll do blue, as I said. I was gonna go ahead and what's the word I want? Very apprehensively place my trust in Akinar there and see.
I'm
what
sure it'll be
happens.
fine.
Yeah, he seems like a perfectly sane, trustworthy individual. No part of his countenance has seemed unhinged. Will be good. So we'll turn this into the book here. Free Akinar, maybe. Actually, I don't know what's about to happen. And then we'll take a break. We'll come back. We will do the same for Cirrus, and then we'll play around and see what we can do for that final ending.
Alrighty.
And then we'll go from there.
Enjoy this.
Oh, neat. I just realized what I'm looking at.
Oh, I feel alive. And how do you feel, my friend? Oh, what have we here? Perhaps pages you worked so hard for? What? Yes. Oh. Perhaps you're seeing the world from my point of view. Yes. Oh. There's my brother. Oh, yes. Maybe someone will rescue you someday. You lose.
So is this now on? Oh, no, okay. We got to fade out. I was worried that it was going to stay on that screen.
Nope.
What did it stay on that screen for him this entire time? Was
I
that
mean-
static and everything his life and that sound effect? I could understand why he might be broken at this point.
We can talk about that after we get through with the endings and we take our break, because there's a whole lore thing to talk about with that.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. At this juncture, I'm going to take the break. We'll come back. We will do red ending and then find our last ending. And then we'll get to hang out for a while. See
Sure.
what happens. Yeah. Actually, it may take us to the 8 o'clock time. I don't know how long things go, but we'll find things to chat. We'll chat lore. I like the sound
Sure.
of it. So
Sounds good to me.
ta-ta for now, and then I will I'll shoot you a message just as before when we're ready to come back.
Alrighty.
And for those in chat, I will see you in about 15 minutes or so. Thank you. Alrighty. We are back. Thank you for your patience there.
Hello.
And welcome back to you, Al. Greetings.
Thank you.
I see that you have messaged me regarding a something silly to share, you said.
Yes.
Is that after everything is all said and done, or is that a...
Yeah, it'll be after we're done.
Okay. Say if it's relevant, you let me know. But yeah, we can do that then. Alrighty. Excellent. The Red Bull versus Blue Bull was exactly long enough to fit into a clip. Good. Perfect.
Perfect.
That's how I'm always happy when that kind of thing happens, because it tells me that, you know, hey, I don't know if I don't know as a performer how well that went. That's why I like live streaming, because everything is ephemeral and I get to not care about doing things 90 times. But like when I see something like, as Ocelot just said, it was 59.5 seconds out of 60. Chef kiss. I agree with Chef kiss. As that just tells me, you know what, at least that was correct. So we find ourselves with a black screen here at the end of the Aknar route, as it were. Does credit roll? Do credits roll on any of these?
They
Or is it
used
just...
to roll after the bad endings. I think you have to trigger them now, though, from the main menu
Gotcha.
or
Well,
something. I don't know.
We'll just head back here. Oh, may want to log out of Steam since it's showing my friends popping up. I mean, yeah, if it's breaking immersion, I'm not too worried about it. As long as my friends aren't... I don't think I'm friends with anybody that I would be worried about their, like, Steam name or something. Or if I am, then please tell me and I'll blast them from orbit. But let's see. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I guess technically I haven't, like, asked them if it's okay if their current Steam Online status is okay to show across the internet. But, you know, I'm just going to say they can lawyer up if they want. Let's go. Yeah, quick login about 50 times, yeah. That said, if you out there in chat are logging in and logging out and finding that you are not showing up because we aren't friends, I apologize. That was the last one. It was there, right? No! I tried. I thought it was just going to give me a no. I didn't think it was going to get rid of everything. Okay, fine. Where the hell is the thing? I take one little snack break, and
If it makes you feel better,
yeah.
I've been at it for 30 years and I still haven't memorized it perfectly.
It's in the part of my memory that's like, there's like short-term memory which I don't have, but then there's like micro-term memory which I do.
Yeah.
And that's where this is sitting. It's the same memory bank as your food and drink order is. And it's how I can memorize that, but I will never learn your name or face if you come to me at the bar. I will forget you for months, but I will remember exactly what you ordered the previous day. Let's see. That looks good, yeah. Fire away. So now we take the red page.
Yep.
And we see whether this is a bad end or like a medium end. Because apparently the good end was already taken.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I find myself in a book again.
Oh, yes! Yes! I'm free! Oh, thank you, my friend. My dear friend. You've done the right thing. You stupid fool! It looks like perhaps you're in the book now. And what have we here? A page. Oh no. I hope you enjoy your new home as much as I enjoyed it. I can't see you. You're getting less clear. I hope you're in the books. The library looks much the same as I left. Oh, I can all. Goodbye.
The pop filter didn't save that one.
No,
It
not
makes
quite.
me happy. All
Like,
right.
just him going, I hope you're into books.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. My favorite part about these endings is just like Rand and Robin consuming an entire ham.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, he
Just like the whole pig.
Yeah, and maybe some like pork chops that they bought at the store along with it. Like that, there was some extra there. It was there. You could just tell that I mean, you said earlier that Rand was uncomfortable sometimes with the acting. I think you mentioned, but like, hey, bravo to both of you. Rand and Robin, it was correct. Was who
Yes.
played Cirrus? Like, beautiful work.
Yeah.
Excellent job. Oh, I forget what that is. Fizz Wow? Yeah, oh, Yizbrid Wow. Yeah. Caught in the wild. It does exist from time to time. Oh, that makes me happy. Alrighty. I did not expect him to be just as unhinged.
Oh yeah.
But I think my first, like, at first blush, my thought was they're both unhinged, but in different directions.
Yeah.
In this, it's proven they're just, like, they're both unhinged in the same direction.
I mean,
click on that.
Akinar is definitely much more like crazy woodsman,
Yeah.
and Sirius is much more like, Prince John.
Yeah. Like, at last you fell for my trap. Like that kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, Akinar's the brute, Sirius is the plotter. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Akinar is the summoner and Sirius is the scholar. They're both into books.
Yes.
We now go to find a fourth ending.
Yes.
My assumption here is let's see. I'm trying to think. Is there a puzzle to this? Like, is this something
No.
that should be obvious?
There's no
Or-
puzzle to it.
There's no puzzle to it. Okay. I'm assuming it's like a rejection of all three options.
Not
but
quite.
Not quite.
It's not following instructions.
Okay. I'm going to go back in because I'm thinking it's like taking the page from Atris and then just not giving it to him.
Close. If you have the page, you will always get asked for it, and he will not stop asking you. He'll just sit there and loop that forever.
Okay.
But you are on the right track.
Cool. Is that it?
Looks like it.
Yes. I will eat the paper. Can I?
I don't think I've ever tried taking one of the other pages in, but I don't think it matters.
Can I give you this?
My friend. You've returned. We meet face to face. And
Here
the
we go.
page. Did you bring the page? You didn't bring the page. You didn't bring the page. And a fool are you? Oh. Did you not take my warning seriously? Welcome to Dunny. You and I will live here forever.
Was that because the other page was to the Myst book?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that. The little look up and just
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't believe you're still standing there, man.
Well, I mean, what else am I supposed to do? I mean, you can show me where to where to chill if you want. Like, where's my desk? Like, if we're both gonna be here, might as well, right?
But
well,
yes, that's all 4 endings for you.
All right. We did a Myst.
Yes.
We have misted.
You did well.
Yeah, hallelujah. We did, like to bring down the like I'm used to there being like, credits roll and we get a nice ending theme or something. Obviously like, I don't expect, current gen ending theme or anything, but
Yeah, this was back when things were still like every game was an experiment.
I like that it's just that's it. You're done. Like,
Yeah.
Cuz it's true. That's it. You're done. You're trapped here. All right. Well, what else do you want to do?
Yeah.
Like,
and then we sat around waiting for 4 years for them to release Riven.
whew. In this room even, I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean, if you have the good ending, then you can at least, like go back to Myst and stare at the walls of the library for 4 years, but it's like, thanks. Thank you for the library. I've already exhausted all of my opportunities here.
So I kind of want to like just throw some questions at you about like the game at this time and everything. Like,
Sure.
I guess first off, for you, what ending did you go with first?
We actually got the good ending first.
Okay.
This was long enough ago when it came out that I was 10.
Okay.
And so I played it with my dad, and the two of us decided that we didn't like the look of either Cirrus or Akinar, and the only thing that they agreed on was that we absolutely under no circumstances should touch the green book, and so that's the very first thing we did.
Absolutely. Did you end up like Like, is the natural thing to do to go back and like keep trying for all the endings for you, or was it like?
We did do both Cirrus and Akinar, but I don't think we really realized. I don't think I realized that there was an option to do the bad end for a little while after, or like the not bringing the page to Atris ending for a little while.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a like, depending on your philosophy, it might not even like register as an ending.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that. Oh, I've definitely met people who didn't realize there were multiple endings and just stopped after getting a bad end. What, really?
Yeah,
Like-
my uncle was actually one of them. He thought that Cirrus was telling the truth, and he was like, "Well, that's a weird ending, but okay."
Interesting. Okay. Like, did he not try the Green Book?
No,
I guess.
we started Riven. He was like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
All right, sure. Uh, was there a save system like this one where you could have multiple
Yes.
saves? Okay.
Yes,
Then there is no excuse besides.
there really isn't,
Yeah.
but it was just like, okay.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, what you do with your time is what you do with your time, I suppose. If you decide that, it's not really worth me checking out that Green Book, I don't want to get trapped in a video game. I saw Tron, like, screw
Yeah.
that. Then, I guess that's that. I can't pick this page up and take it with me, right? Okay. After, like, so I guess it was, because this was 95, you said?
93.
Right? 93. So there wouldn't really have been much of a like online forums weren't around yet, right? At
Not
that time
really.
to share like what endings you found and stuff. That would have all just been kind of word of mouth discussion with
Yeah.
friends and such.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Cyan had a website back then, but
Mhm.
it wasn't like it didn't have a forum or anything.
Okay.
The first things that kind of cropped up between Myst and Riven, like in the 95, 96 area.
Mhm.
And so yeah, we had the Riven list, which was a mailing list back when those were still a thing. And Riven Guild was sort of the first big fan community website that had a forum and all that stuff.
Okay.
Cyan Chat definitely started. So Cyan Chat was a little like Java applet chat system that one of the Cyan devs like hacked together real quick and put on their website, and we all just hung out in there forever
Sure.
as kids
It was
because
terrible, but it
what
was
else are
home.
we gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were there like conspiracies of endings that hadn't been found, or was the like kind of idea of like data mining for
Well, the funny thing is actually, if you had the CD version at the time, which for the longest time until digital downloads was the only way to do it, but the CDs that this came on, like you could just open the disc and browse around in there, and like all the QuickTime videos were just there.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah.
So as long as you had the QuickTime player downloaded from Apple's website, then yeah, you could just like open up all of them. All of the pictures were compressed,
Mhm.
but the videos were like they were just the raw QuickTime files. So it wasn't really there wasn't really a whole lot of like mystery to what else might be there. Because so much of the narrative content of the game was done with those videos. And so knowing that that's how the endings were told and not finding anything else, we're like, okay, that's done. There was also a making of video that was on the CD
Oh, cool.
that
Okay.
I might have watched until if it had been a physical copy, I wore it out. But
Watched until it degraded. The file
Yeah.
corrupted. Iris of Ether says 100% gave myself 2 hints when I got really stuck by looking through those videos. I didn't know that rotated, and oh, there's a door there. Yeah.
oh,
hey,
there's a door there. That's a big one.
I mean, jumping into like I think especially if I was a kid, and like if I'd figured out that I could look those things up in the game's files and such, I might consider that to be a success on my part. And hey, I solved a puzzle to get that hint.
Mm-hmm.
The puzzle of a CD. But oh, Ocelot says that's where she and you met. That's so cool.
Yes,
It was
it
on
is.
the Cyan chat. That's adorbs.
Forever and ever ago.
Yeah, heart emoji indeed. Oh, so this is. Let me interrupt. This is not Chloe. This is Hannah. This is one of Stacy's cats. Stacy is moved in, and her 4 cats live with us now. So we have Chloe plus Hannah and Goober and Peppy and Mimi. And so this is Hannah. She got into my room accidentally during the break, and my goal was to try and get her out from under the bed, but decided I didn't want to try and take an extra 10 minutes to do so. So now she's chilling with us. Or she's exploring with us anyway. Are you going to... You want to say that into the camera? Or to the mic?
Say that to his face.
No, she's gonna rub up on the mic instead of yelling into it. That's okay. Chat loves you. You can't mark all of this as your own. Chloe's gonna get confused. These are Chloe's things apparently, because I can't own any electronics. They're all Chloe's. Alrighty. Are we mostly getting along? Not yet. Not yet, but working on it. So yeah, when was, because you said 4 years later was Riven.
Yep.
When was it announced that there was going to be more content than just this game?
I think the first announcement that Riven was being made was in '95. It's hard to remember that long ago, but it was
Gotcha.
definitely like, articles with little teasers of things started appearing in like PC Gamer.
Okay. Because I'm imagining, like, for the lore enthusiasts out there, like, if you didn't know that there was going to be more, like, what, I guess, like, was it just, the questions of, like, filling in the blanks of the world that, like, sent you on this journey?
Well, I mean, so basically, like, I was just fascinated by all of the stuff in Myst. Like books that could take you to these other worlds. It's like, this is really, 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 really cool. Having found Cyan's website, there was stuff on their very old website that kind of hinted at more of the things that were happening in terms of like the backstory.
Okay.
And then the Book of Atris came out in 1995, which was really where we kind of like got our first big glimpse into the things that had led up to Myst to a certain extent.
That was a novel, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a novel. It kind of ends about 20-ish years before Myst starts. But it does kind of introduce you to Atris as a character and Catherine as a character and Atris's father Gen, kind of to give you a sense of who he is before you play Riven. Because even at that time they knew that, I mean, heck, in Myst they knew that Gen was going to be like, the person that Atris is having to deal with. But
Gotcha.
Othwa is asking about Spider. So Spider was definitely post-Riven. Spider was basically something that Cyan did on their website where they would post clues and puzzles and things that were kind of revealed by someone showing up late at night on like a Friday or Saturday in Cyan chat and saying something cryptic or linking to something that you needed to go and solve, like a puzzle for. by looking something up or doing like a cryptic crossword or anything like that. And it was kind of a way to build a little bit of excitement for what would ultimately become Uru.
Oh, rad.
Um,
Okay.
but they were kind of feeling out ways that they could, like, you know, ease things to the really dedicated fandom without it kind of, you know, seeping out into the broader internet. It kind of worked.
Cool.
um, and one of the interesting things is the Mac version of Myst Masterpiece Edition uh, has a an Easter egg where if you do a certain thing, it will take you to a page that I think still exists on Science website that has what was the first video of in-game footage of Uru at the time, which was like in 2000.
Oh, rad. Okay. And
Um,
that's not in this
uh,
version.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, like they've always kind of, you know, snuck little things in here and there. Um, Real Mist does actually have an additional age after you finish the game,
Oh, okay.
which is sort of a way to like try and a little better connect Mist and Riven. Um, it's called Rhyme. Unfortunately, it's not in the 2020 version of Mist that is like the new standard version that they're pitching. Um, but
That's not anything to do with Rhyme, the video game, right? That's completely different.
right,
Okay.
yeah, right. Cyan likes to use um, fancy words or words that aren't in common parlance
Gotcha. Because that's
for things.
RIME, right? Is
Yes.
that okay?
Um, and so like rhyme is like the definition of rhyme is like frost.
Yeah.
Um, and the rhyme age is this very snowy, like Arctic setting. Um, so it, you know the name makes sense, but you know Cyan likes to use these kinds of words like Riven is also a word. It's not just the name of the game. It's also a word. It means divided. Um,
Oh, I see. Okay. That hadn't registered to me. Let me.
yeah. Um, and you know some of their narration tends to be like I said using just some words that aren't quite in common parlance. It kind of gives it a little bit of an antique feel,
Yeah.
um, which you know one of the things that like Mist especially builds I think on a lot of like the Jules Verne scientist kind of tropes. You know, like the lone scientist guy who's off doing crazy inventions and building wild contraptions and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I I've really enjoyed the like anachronistic feel of everything, where it's like you have the Greco-Roman like pillars here and everything, but then you've got like electrical wire,
Yeah,
surrounding it and things like that.
I mean
It's
the tagline for the game was a surrealistic adventure that will become your world.
mhm.
Um, and it really is. It does have a lot more surrealism to it than like the rest of the canon. Um, Partly because it was kind of the vibe they were going for, having come out of making kids games. Um, Partly because it was let's just play around with this and see what all we can actually do. And it also kind of uh, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Um, it kind of lent itself to the kind of mysterious weirdness that they were putting together here.
Mhm. Which worked very well, I might add.
Yeah.
Well, I think. Yeah, whimsy. Yeah, I like that.
Yes, whimsy.
I think I'm like running out of questions off the top of my head as far as like the vibe of things, because I'm trying to like put myself back when this game first came out, and
Yeah.
like really think about like, you know, because I've done plenty of like Zelda theorizing and stuff, and like
Hmm.
digging through, like trying to figure out, oh, which game came before what game, and like, oh, was this like mural texture really like the first instance of this race from this game, 10 years later, and like, that kind of stuff. So like, but all of that has come about from like going on forums and such. So if
Yeah.
all I had was this initial game, like how much could I squeeze about it, but or squeeze out of it, but then you have the cyan chat that you're bringing up and everything like that, and just I can only imagine like getting puzzles from. You mentioned Spider, and was that from you said that was from Cyan Worlds themselves, like that was
Yeah.
like official quote from them?
It was done as sort of a, like cheeky, hi, I'm sneaking in and giving you something you're not supposed to have, but
Cool.
it was architected by Cyan.
Gotcha.
Like, all the
Just
stuff was hosted on their website, and but
awesome.
if you ever asked anybody, because a couple of the Cyan people were also on the Riven mailing list, and they would
Mhm.
drop into Cyan chat as themselves from time to time, and if you ever
Cool.
asked them about it, they would be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that would keep my interest alive the entire time. Like
Oh yeah.
something I'm going to say I'm glad that I didn't discover this at the time, because I mean, well, for one thing, I would have been just a little too young to appreciate this upon release, but
Yeah.
had I had this, I feel like I would have been bit by the same bug. So
Oh yeah.
for things to have gone the way that they did, I'm glad that my life didn't veer entirely off course by this, because it's amazing.
But yeah, so what was I going to say? I was going to say something and I don't remember what it was.
What have I done?
I don't know.
Uh,
I have a sneaky, like a silly little thing that I have sent you in our chat, that is footage of Rand and Robin's dad auditioning to be like doing lines as Atris.
Oh, that's great.
Because their initial thought was, well, if we're playing the brothers, because we're brothers, why don't we just have our dad play our dad?
Brilliant. Well, let's all watch this together, folks. This wants to let me find a place that. Oh, you know what? Look at that. I can pause it. That stops all sound. Let me bring this over here. Miller Brothers' father auditions as Atris. Grandpa Atris. All right. Now it says Grandpa Atris, but this is not. When you said that Atris's grandfather was Atris as well, that's not what this is referring to, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Sometime in 1992.
The books were in essence traps. My sons were interested in those books, began to beg me to have access to those forbidden books. I never imagined the extent that they would go to deceive me. They used their mother, my wife, to trick me into coming here into this room. Only then will I be able to return to Myst and bring justice for what my sons have done. I must return to my writing.
I two things I have to say about that. One is I think that was perfectly servable and fit right in. Second, could you imagine telling your own father he didn't get the part? Like and then
Yeah.
and then casting yourself as the
Yeah.
role. I'm sorry, Dad. Not only are you not good enough for this, I'm just gonna do it. Like I'm sure it didn't go that way, but like I wouldn't want to touch that with a. I mean, my dad is a musician, and there have already been times that like we've started to like learn like a song or something, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Dad. Like I can't. You're my dad. You're not my like my musical peer. I can't.
Yeah.
Did you find? You found a spot to sit where the curtain is on an object. Why is your mouth just open? Hannah, what are you doing? Maybe that's panting. Actually, I'm gonna go real fast and get Hannah out into the living room because I think maybe she's worried because she doesn't know how to
Okay.
get out of here. So I'll be right back. One moment. Hey, baby. Hey, baby, it's okay. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. That's Hannah. She had her mouth open. Was that like panting? Yeah, I think she was a little nervous because she didn't know how to get out. It was a new area, but she's doing okay. Alrighty, she successfully has gone back to her family. We're good.
So
Thank you
one other
for
thing to
letting me
note,
step away.
thing to note about their dad is that he's actually a pastor,
Okay.
which I think might have been part of why they thought about casting him in the role in the first place, because
Mhm.
he is used to doing s- essentially some public performance.
Sure, sure. And I could tell that he wasn't a stranger to it.
Yeah.
Like he didn't seem nervous in the sense of like if I asked somebody off the street to hey, can you dress up like a wizened old man and like
Yeah.
but no, I that performance is great. I wonder how that went about of like after that test, like who denied him that role.
Yeah. I don't remember the story of how they decided to go with Rand doing it, but
Mm.
I always just kind of found it funny after they talked about this. This was probably years ago at this point. But when they first kind of revealed this, just like, oh, what it might have been,
Yeah, yeah.
especially since, for as much as Rand says that he doesn't like acting, he manages to get dragged back into doing something as Atris in basically every game.
Yeah, you know, that makes me question that statement, I think. Well, incredible game. I think I'm out of questions. If there was anything else that you wanted to share or any other like fun tidbits or stories
Um,
that you feel are are
I think the
must.
only other thing we wanted to kind of talk about was how the red and blue books worked.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Um, so as they're depicted here in the game, they're what's called trap books. Um, and Atris's journal in Riven kind of goes into a little bit of this, but it's not really like, spoilers. Um, but basically you make a trap book by making subtle modifications to a regular linking book.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person who uses the book is trapped between the two different ages in some sort of liminal space.
Oh, I see.
Um, and then but it can only hold one person at a time. And so if you use it, then the person who was in it gets booted back out, and now you're in it. So it's what we see in the bad endings.
Okay.
But then ostensibly, if you were to destroy the book, the person who is in that liminal space gets booted into the age that they were trying to link to.
Ah. Okay. And
The
that
catch to
then.
this
Mm.
the catch to this is that everything that I just told you is not actually canon.
Oh. Okay.
According to like the official uh rules of the universe as laid out in the like the overarching narrative of everything, um trap books are not actually something that exist. There are things called prison ages, but those are just regular ages without a linking book that takes you back out.
Okay. Because that was
So
sort of what I had assumed they were. Was like it was. I guess my assumption, having not explored any extra curricular Cyan Worlds content besides Myst here, as you have all watched me play. Uh, it seems to me that like all of these worlds or these ages, I guess maybe I should pose this as a question: are
okay.
these ages uh places that exist before a book is made for them, or are they created through the creation of the book, or something neither of those?
That is one of like the core how do I want to put this? Uh According to the official attitude of the Dunny, it is essentially, their belief is that these are places that already exist or have existed or will exist, and all you're doing is creating a link to those places, because essentially linking kind of follows along the lines of the many worlds theory of
Mm-hmm.
quantum dynamics, where um, anytime something happens, all of the possible outcomes are manifested in their own universe. And so you end up with this gigantic tree of, ever branching, near infinite possibilities. And what you're doing is just connecting a book to one of those specific leaves on that branch.
Interesting.
Um,
I like that this is a philosophical discussion in the lore.
yes, it is.
Cool.
And it's sort of darn near heretical to be, like to have the opinion that no, you've actually created this place, and so you have some sort of, uh, godlike authority over anything that happens there.
I see. Okay.
Um,
And is that a position that any of the characters we've encountered take, or is that even anything that gets touched upon? Because I feel like Atris might have some opinions on that sort of thing, but
Atris definitely subscribes to the orthodoxy essentially.
Okay.
Um, however, his dad, Gen, definitely does not.
Interesting.
Um, Partly because Gen is um when Gen grew, as Gen was growing up, Dunny actually fell when he was a young teenager. Actually, I think it was about when he was 8. Um, and so he has a very weird relationship with his culture, because it doesn't exist anymore. And he was always kind of treated as an outsider by the rest of the Dunny because his mother was human, and so he's not truly Dunny. Um, but having had all of these like complex things happen to him growing up as a kid, he has a really warped perspective on things,
Mm.
and has kind of come to certain conclusions, perhaps by cobbling things together in his own head in ways that, if he were learning it firsthand from someone in Dunny, they would have disabused him of those attitudes. But as it stands, he's definitely more of a despotic kind of person.
Interesting. Okay.
To answer the question in chat about whether or not trap books were later retconned or explained, so the discussion about how trap books work and how linking works and all that stuff, this was actually like a huge uh, point of discussion on the Riven mailing list. You could leave for a week, come back, and have upwards of 700 emails if somebody decided to start an argument about linking theory.
Oh, it's so
At,
good.
that's I like this happened to me on multiple occasions. Um, but at one point before, it was after Riven came out, but before anything else, uh, Rawa, the guy who works at Cyan, who is basically like the person in charge of all of this stuff, um, wrote an uncharacteristically lengthy email uh, explaining everything about, well, what we had to do for Myst is sort of artistic license, and it's not actually a thing that really exists, and so the books would have been prison ages. Um, and so, that's sort of realistically the only place where it's truly discussed. Um, as far as the games are concerned, it's just sort of something that gets elided over in later games. Like Myst 4 Revelation deals very heavily with Cirrus and Akinar, and we get journals that, unlike the journals in Myst, actually have dates in them.
Cool.
But what those dates do is sort of line up that, these guys weren't trapped in some liminal space for however many, years it was before you land on Myst. Yes, Silence Locks. You do visit them in Myst 4 Revelation. Like I said, it deals very heavily with them, and it doesn't really truly, like, it doesn't go out of its way to say, oh, by the way, what you saw in Myst wasn't actually what happened in Myst. But if you connect the dots in a certain way to like know a lot more information outside of the games, with stuff from the novels and stuff that's been posted on the internet and whatnot, um, you do get a timeline that basically makes it impossible for trap books to exist as they have been defined. as the way that these guys were trapped in these worlds, just because their journals basically start from the moment they get trapped. And there's not like, a gap where they only actually start doing something after Myst happens, and they would ostensibly have been put into those worlds via burning the books. But like I said, it's the games don't ever really just like come out and say, no, this is not how it was. This is this is retcon, this is artistic license or anything like that. But they do essentially ignore the functionality of trap books to tell the story as it would have been told if they were using regular prison ages in Myst.
So it's sort of a like uh given everything we know, which option gives us the smallest headache,
Yeah.
and thus you end up with like if we can boil everything down to the only thing that doesn't click is prison book functionality, we'll take it, or
Mhm.
trap book functionality.
Yeah, and really, like, a lot of people kind of take some issue with trap books not being canonical, just because, like, they're in the games, they talk about them, they're used in both Myst and Riven. And like I said, Atris kind of talks about how to make one in one of his journals in Riven, and so you kind of like, there's structure to how they work, and explanations and whatnot, but like, it is something that, at least if you take Rawa at his word, it is something that was created for the purposes of simplifying the gameplay of the game. Because one of the other things that comes out of, Myst is sort of weirdly anachronistic, is I almost kind of sometimes compare it to The Hobbit versus Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit is sort of loosey-goosey and kind of weird and quirky, and then you get to the Lord of the Rings, and there's 1,000 begats, and Gandalf is an angel technically,
Yeah.
and like, all this other stuff that exists in the greater world of Middle Earth, and all of the ages that precede it, kind of piles on top of itself to create Lord of the Rings. That's kind of what happened with the Myst franchise, where Myst is just sort of like, hey, I'm a cool little game about making books that take you to other places, and it's really neat. And then Riven came out, and like, it really does a lot to, like, ground and cement things. Um,
And that can deflate a lot of the theorization sometimes.
it
Like,
does a bit, yeah. We don't quite have the same level of debate and argument about how linking books work anymore, which is a little sad, but at the same time, my mailbox thinks that.
yeah.
Um,
The moment that Nintendo put out the Hyrule Historia with their own timeline theory, or I don't want to say theory, but like the canon timeline for Zelda, was like, it great for everybody that wanted an answer, but a dark day for everybody that was like having fun piecing all those things together. And
yeah.
it's like, oh, by the way, all of you are wrong. Like, sure, Nintendo, fine, but
Um,
make better sense than they do. But
yeah. But yeah, it's very much like, one of the other things that Myst does is people talk through the linking books. Atris sees you after you open the book and is like, "Who the devil are you?" And like, the only way that that makes physical sense is if, like, a panel appears in front of him when you open the
yeah,
book, which is not how that works. So there's definitely a lot of license taken with how these things function in Myst, just to facilitate actually having a story that
could
works.
it be that he happened to open the Myst book at the exact same time that you happened to open the Dunny book?
Well, so there's also some level of debate as to how the linking panels themselves function, and whether or not um, the fancy like moving camera angle that you get is technically canon or anything like that. Um, and so it's rough trying to get some of this stuff to kind of line up, especially in Myst. Um, because they were kind of making the rules up as they went for Myst, and then like came up with the full system of how everything really actually works a little bit later.
Fair. 'Cause I'm trying to think like the I think the burning question that I have, maybe not like burning, and I don't know if it gets touched upon, but like I guess let me back up a step and say like I can already see and feel how this universe is like an awesome one to explore, and just being able to like have all of these questions makes me want to jump right into the next games. And we're not going to do that, chat. We're not yet. I wanna get some other stuff in between before we think about Riven. But like,
Take a breather.
yeah. At the same time, I'm like, yeah. You're welcome for the laying awake at 2 a.m. wondering how things work in advance. Yeah, exactly. Like if you write, like, can you write a linking book about where you already are? Can you take if you write a book, like what if you photocopy a linking book? Like, what happens? Like, can you bring a book inside of the world that it describes and then like
These are all some
alter
of
it?
my favorite questions.
Can you like what does that say about like the nature of, are you creating the world or are you linking to a different world? Are you like changing what world you're linking to so everything's from your perspective? Like, would it change nothing because every change you're making is describing another adjacent world? Like, it's great. It's fantastic.
This is great.
Like,
You're literally speed running 5 years of the Riven list.
I can imagine.
Like every single one of those questions is one that would generate hundreds of comments and interactions on the list, and it was just an absolute zoo. But like we have kind of like gotten to a point where we do technically have answers to those things, so I can give you answers if you want. But you're also welcome to just sort of sit there and ponder.
Yeah, I feel like I know myself, and I know that my motivation to play further games would be unfortunately lessened the more I know that
That's fair.
I have answers to those. Knowing that I can answer them by playing more games, or that I can piece by piece, like, fill out that knowledge base, that's like motivation for me to further explore those things.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think, because before I go, because it's approaching, it's like almost 8:20, I guess. It's 8:17 was the last chat there. I was hoping maybe to kind of go along a bit of a timeline to describe what exactly occurred here in this game, like maybe a bit of a summary.
Sure.
Like, if since I have you, lore master.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, I guess I'll resume here since we are still playing right now, and I'll hop into the library. So because I know we have different journals here.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the journals are linking books. That's correct. Or no, excuse me. No, these are just journals.
Correct.
The linking books are placed around the island. And then, so these journals all belonged to Atris?
Yes.
Okay. And then, was there a specific order that they were supposed to go in? Or did we end up going in order?
There is no established order. And before I forget, just just so that I remember to mention it, if you want, I would recommend seeing if you can get a hold of copies of each of the novels.
Okay.
The Book of Atris is the one that comes first. The Book of Tiana is the second one, even though it's chronologically takes place before the Book of Atris. But I think that it's better to read them in release order because you kind of get a little bit more of a build up.
Sure.
Um,
Sure.
and then the Book of Dunny is the third one. It's also, I think, generally regarded as the weakest of them, unfortunately. But it also, you can probably do without it the most, I guess. Um, if you're really looking for meat and potatoes, like stuff to dig into about Atris and his family, the Book of Atris and the Book of Tiana are really good ones.
Real fast silence in chat said, you need really good printing fidelity, though. Imagine if you started running out of toner and it made those skipped lines in the book. Yeah, I'm glad I read it out loud because I was going to make a joke that, oh, we already have that. But I see now you're describing the book that has the faded text or the text that at least has those gaps and things. So never mind. I take my joke back. You already made it. Good for you. Clap, clap, clap.
Yeah.
But back to you, Al.
Sure.
Novels are something to be acquired. I almost jumped over to like start Googling that, but then I realized if I accidentally had any of my personal shopping information pop up, that would not be good. So
Yeah,
not gonna
that's fair.
risk any of that. But yeah. Oh, no, I'm not saying that I put in an eBay order for a gently used Book of Tiana and map, but okay, you found one then. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they float around.
yeah. Okay. Well, I've missed it then by no pun intended by 30 minutes. I will. Well, actually, wait. No. Okay. You put in an eBay order, not an eBay bid. I was gonna say maybe this means war, but no. That map just looks so nice, and I wanna add it to my map collection at some point. So
It's
I'd like
really
to acquire
cool.
a copy of that somehow. But yeah, so because I know that there were a few things that were described in this story that like there was a lot that was touched upon with these individual ages and who they met there.
Yeah.
Are those all explored in later games?
No, basically everything that you run, like Myst kind of stands alone as its own little thing.
Okay.
The rest of the games kind of follow Atris as a character who is perpetually in need of your assistance. It wouldn't
Maybe you
be
should get
there wouldn't
better
be,
at.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's Ocelot mentioned it earlier, but one of kind of the running jokes in the community these days is Atris's bad parenting,
Mhm.
because it keeps happening.
I'm gonna commit heresy here real fast, but we're just
Oh
gonna
no.
do that. Yeah, no, I could see that. Like, hey, what happens if I just leave my kids to chill in a forest with some indigenous peoples? What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Like,
So to kind of like give you a little bit of a timeline, we don't really have, mainly because these journals aren't dated. We don't really have a good way of knowing when any of the particular events in these journals take place or how they interrelate. But it is, very heavily suggested that not only did Atris visit, write and visit these ages, he also wrote just lots of them.
gotcha.
And like,
Yeah,
if
there was
you
like
were
what
to,
hundreds of them that were said to be here, but then it was claimed that the brothers destroyed most of them.
Yeah. I don't know if hundreds is necessarily, like completely accurate, but he was a pretty prolific person, mainly because he was trying to basically teach himself this stuff from first principles.
Mm.
And so a lot of his stuff was, experiments and tests and, what does this do if I do it this way or whatever. Um, and so, yeah, a lot of his ages were just sort of like playing around with what's called the art and seeing what you could do with it.
Yeah, Stone Ship kind of, I think was a good example of that,
Yeah.
where things were kind
Um,
of spliced together.
yeah. And so, that's one of the things that you kind of um, maybe modifying a book after you write it, especially, modifying a book with describing man-made things might not be the smartest of ideas, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Myst loves its proper nouns, not like Destiny loves its proper nouns. Let me tell you.
Yeah, Destiny is one of those games that I've watched from afar and haven't really. I I'm just not a shooter guy, and as much as it has a lot of RPG elements, like that would be what I'd cling to, and I haven't given it a shot, but
Yeah, no, I enjoy it, but I also, am not the worst at shooters, so,
Resident
um,
Evil 4 is probably as close as I'll get.
yeah,
Maybe
that's fair.
someday somebody could if somebody sat me down and said, "Hey, today we're hanging out and playing Destiny," I'd be like, "Okay," and I'd pour myself a drink, and then we could try it. Oh, I think I do have a couple Destiny maps because somebody gifted me a spare uh, collector's edition of
Oh,
one of them,
nice.
and I took the maps and said the rest is going to a friend of mine who actually cares. I didn't say it that bluntly, but but I was like, this is really cool and is like a journal, or it's a like a penned map of a star system, like coordinates. That's awesome. It looks nothing like my other maps, and I like it, so I'm keeping this one. But everything else, I like. Oh, this is a bizarre artifact. This means nothing to me, but to somebody else that plays this, it's probably the coolest thing ever. So they get this, not
Oh, yeah.
Bender. Actually, Bender is the person. I keep forgetting that some of my friends are known to you folks. So yeah, Bender is the one who has the Destiny stuff.
Yeah, if there's one thing Bungie is really good at in terms of that kind of stuff, it's their physical merch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
very impressive. That like I thought it was cool. I just didn't know what it was, but
yeah.
it sure was cool.
But so to kind of try and give you a little bit of a timeline here with what
Mm-hmm.
we know, um, so Atris and Catherine lived on Myst together with Atris's grandmother Anna, um, and while they had Cirrus and Achenar, and when Cirrus and Achenar were young, Anna passed away, and it kind of devastated Atris to the point where he kind of became non-functional for a while. He just sort of poured himself into fiddling with the art and seeing what he could do with it as sort of a coping mechanism, but it did mean that he kind of also was not the best dad uh, for Cirrus and Achenar when they were growing up.
Fair.
And so some of what, we get a little bit of a hint of Cirrus and Achenar getting access to the ages and kind of maybe not being on their best behavior and keeping it a secret. While Atris is distracted with all of this other stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are also suggestions based on rhyme that Atris was starting to get worried that Gen might have figured out how to escape the age that he was trapped on.
Okay.
Because one of the things that happens in the Book of Atris is Atris and Catherine basically um, keep put Gan in a place where he's not going to get out because they're like he's a bad person and they don't want to deal with him anymore.
Yeah.
But let's see.
He took the S on his chest and threw open a portal to the Phantom Zone, and then
Yeah, exactly. So Atris started getting worried that Gen might have figured out a way to get out of his prison. And so, that led to a whole other round of experiments and whatnot. But basically, at some point, Cirrus and Akinar kind of hit a point where they had come up with a plan to not need. No, like they didn't want their parents around anymore.
I see. Okay.
Because they were going to, interfere with them being able to do whatever they wanted. And I'm trying not to spoil Myst 4 without complaining about how much I dislike the plan's explanation in Myst 4.
I will say this. If you were able to do so vaguely or like with a little bit of detail, it is entirely possible that I forget all of this by the time Myst 4 comes around.
Oh yeah, no, that's
So-
fair. I
so
am I am just trying to be a little vague for the benefit of anybody else who
That's
might be
fair, that's
listening
fair.
who's not, So to kind of try and cut the long story short, they come up with a plan to basically get their parents out of the way. And what they do is they tell their mom, Catherine, that Atris has used the green book, the one that we have in the library here. And because they have actually been cautioned never to use that book because it leads to Dunny, and Atris is worried that, well, maybe if Gen gets out, he can find his way back to Dunny.
I see.
And if he can find his way back to Dunny, then he could conceivably find Myst and, kind of raid their sanctuary.
Wait, so if but the green book is in Myst, right?
Yes. So
this would be creating a different green book. Is that
no. So let me. So basically, when going from Dunny to Myst, Atris destroyed the linking book that he used to get there.
okay?
So there was no place, like there was no book in Dunny to take you to Myst, which is why Cirrus and Akinar devised this plan where they, took a page out of Atris's Myst linking book because they knew that he would need one.
Gotcha.
But they first convinced their mother that Atris had already gone to wherever this green book was. They didn't actually know what it was, just that it was dangerous and they should stay away from it because there isn't a way back. So Catherine goes to Dunny, doesn't find Atris there, and so she proceeds on to the age that Atris is frantically working on when we run into him here. So she is really out of the way.
So Atris is writing, and interacting with in some way, the age that Catherine is currently inhabiting.
Yes.
Wild. Okay.
Yeah. And so after they manage to pull that off, they do that while Atris is, exploring somewhere else. Atris comes back from that trip, and while he was gone and Catherine was away, they go through and basically ransack the library.
Okay.
And then Atris shows up. They tell Atris, hey, Catherine has used the green book and asked you to follow her. Basically pulling the same trick in the other direction.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so like he's aware of the damage that has been done to his library, but he assumes that whatever Catherine is going on about with going back to Dunny, that's far more important at the moment. And so he grabs a broken Myst linking book, not realizing that it's broken, goes to Dunny, and is stuck there.
I see.
And at that point, Cirrus and Akinar are like, we finally have access to these books that our dad said we couldn't play with, and they jump into the red and blue books.
Gotcha. And then womp womp. The rest is history.
Yeah. Then the rest is history, and you as the character who is kind of, or you as the player who is enacting this character in this historical play, find the Myst book because it has fallen from where we saw in the intro to this game. Atris jumps into this starry fissure, and the book sort of just falls into this void, and it does actually end up landing on Earth.
Interesting.
So
whoever
it is,
intact Myst book at that.
Yes, and so whoever it is that found the Myst book and used it, was from Earth.
Okay. Cool. Because the things that I thought were going to sort of link together were certain things like the I think there was like a culture with a black flag, right? And like and some of the peoples of the like Channelwood and things like that, but those were more like self-contained stories to tell how the brothers interacted with these areas rather than like a through line.
Yeah. So there was actually a very rapidly aborted attempt to license a comic book series with Dark Horse Comics back around the time that Riven came out.
Interesting. Okay.
It did not go well. I will have to send you the scans that I have of these comics because they are absolutely terrible.
All right.
But they basically were going to tell the story of how Cirrus and Akinar got in league with the pirates from the Black Ships on Mechanical.
Interesting.
It's very, conceptually, it's a really neat idea. Execution-wise, it is very much a Dark Horse comic from the mid to late 90s, and all that implies.
Yeah, I could see how there might be a tonal shift.
It's very weird.
I can imagine. Fjord Sword is saying, dang, the series was my whole childhood. Started playing when I was little. Kind of surprised to see someone playing this and love it. Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us for sure. I'll do a quick reintroduction. We are nearing the end of this stream. But as a quick reintroduction, my guest here is Alahmnat, and they are the guildmaster of the Guild of Archivists. So the leader of the Grand Repository of Lore website.
Hello.
Hello. If that was a succinct enough description there. So we have I guess Myst royalty of sorts. I don't know if that counts.
I don't know if I would put myself. I don't know if I put myself that high up, but sure.
A duke of Myst of some kind. I gotta continue though. You were saying about the comics.
No, that's fine. So yeah, the comics, they got 2 issues out. One issue was like a backstory setup for Atris, and then the first real issue came out for the brothers' journey into the getting into cahoots with the people who ran the Black Ships, and then Cyan was like, no, this is terrible, and we're not going to let you do the rest of it.
That's fair. I can I feel as though while some game worlds can benefit from having very like off-kilter outside stuff, I'd imagine that there are a lot of like subject matters and such that you would just not want to touch your canon. And
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with Cyan having licensing a comic series with someone who actually cared.
oh sure.
It's just that it was very clearly like they gave Dark Horse Comics notes about, hey, these are all the things that we need you to fix because you've done this horribly wrong. And Dark Horse was like, yeah, cool, actually we're just going to publish it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, I gotta take a look at those then. That's and those came out before Riven?
It was either right before or right after Riven. It was definitely like in the 1997 era.
Okay.
But like I think part of why Dark Horse got such free range to screw around as they did is because Cyan was already busy trying to finish Riven.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
But yeah, like the comics are definitely terrible. The books, like they're serviceable. Like they're not high fantasy, Tolkien tier quality things, but I find the stories engaging.
I'm gonna liken them, I suppose, to the short stories that get published on the Square Enix Final Fantasy XIV site, perhaps, where they contain lore. You get to learn new things about characters you've already encountered, and they're not written poorly. Like they're fine, but it's I'm not chomping at the bit because my favorite author just came out with a new piece. It's just more like we got a solid fan fiction writer to add some canon stuff to this or what have you. But respectable. I'll still say respectable. I don't want to make any claims, especially since I haven't read them. But
I would say they're respectable. But yeah, I would say at the very least get a hold of a copy of the Book of Atris to read if you can, because that definitely gives you more detail about Atris as a character and his youth, and you get a little bit more insight into who Catherine is, because you kind of just know that she exists at this point.
Yeah. I think she was name dropped maybe twice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that way you kind of get like the build up into where Myst kind of like the happy ending kind of happens a little bit at the end of Book of Atris, and then between the Book of Atris and Myst, everything kind of falls apart.
Gotcha. To be sure, the good ending is the canon one. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Cool. I think that probably brings us to a close, I think, on this chapter of Yizbrid Games community streaming. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for 4 whole streams. Everyone applaud Al for doing that, because
It's my pleasure.
it's hell to schedule anything ever, so thank you for accompanying us regularly for that amount of time.
Yeah, no problem.
I know at least for me it's a tough thing to do, but I'm happy we had this. Actually,
This was a lot of fun, and I'm whenever you are ready to come back to do Riven, I will absolutely happily tag along.
Awesome. And I forget whether it was you or Ocelot who suggested this in the first place, but equal amount of applause for either you get double or you and Ocelot can both get the same amount of applause.
No, Ocelot's the one who put the bug in your ear.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you, Ocelot, as well, for suggesting this, because And I think I phrased it this way at the beginning of this playthrough, but getting to sit down and watch The Godfather with like the lead, like the a video or a movie historian who specializes in the Godfather series, giving like liner notes the entire time. Like, that's this but for video games, and it's been incredible, and I feel honored to have been able to share this playthrough with you, and I hope that it was as fun for you as it was for me playing through with fresh eyes on this. For
Oh
sure.
yeah, I always just love talking people's ear off about this. So anytime I can do that to a captive audience,
Yeah, absolutely. All of you in the chat who the Yizbrid virus that kept you from clicking it off the window, I'll disable that. Oh, you meant me. Okay, yes. No, willingly captive, I'll say.
Yes.
This has been fun. So with that, and before I say thank you too many times, farewell to you. Did you want to share? I know we shared the link to the Guild of Archivists up top there. Were there any like? I'm gonna go the typical streamer / TV thing and say, do you have anybody you want to shout out, or is there anything you want to say before parting ways for the time being?
Sure. I mean, so you can find me online at the Guild of Archivists. I also have a Mastodon account at Alahmnat at woof.tech. And I am in the various discords for Cyan related stuff. There's discord.gg/cyanchat is the official Cyan Discord. If you wanted to drop by there, it's a lot of fun. We have a whole channel dedicated to talking about lore stuff, and a whole channel dedicated to talking about the Dunny language. So, if either of those things fascinate you, you are welcome to drop by.
I'm gonna hop in there, if nothing else, but to take the Discord emojis. But continue.
Yeah, we've got red and blue pages. We've got the pointer arrow. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. But yes, that is what I will plug. And again, it's archive.guildofarchivists.org to get to the Guild of Archivists. And spoiler warning, we don't hide any spoilers. So if you're not familiar with the franchise, stick to specifically what it is you're looking for. It's kind of organized by game. So if you are looking for information about something from Myst, there's a link to it right on the homepage, and then I guess surfer beware if you start clicking links from there.
I am allowed to go on the Myst page now, though.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate you signing my permission slip. Alrighty. I'm going to switch back to the main camera for some outro stuff, but thank you once more for the 1000th time. Thank you, Al. And
Absolutely.
we'll have you back on sometime in the nearish future for sure. So
Look forward to it.
And I'm going to get the lovely sound of waves taken off of there, and let me make sure that all my audio is disconnected from. Where is my? I'll just hop out of that. Stop streaming that. We'll disconnect from there. Cool. Okay. Just making sure. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, everybody who stuck it through with the last several episodes, and even those who just joined in for a little bit. I hope that this has drummed up some interest to go and check out the other 3 episodes of the Myst Masterpiece Edition playthrough over at youtube.com/YizbridGames. If you stick around with us, not tonight, tonight's about to end, but discord.gg/YizbridGames is the Discord for the publishing company that we are here inhabiting. And you can hang out with all of us, because y'all newcomers seem like really cool people, and I hope that we've come across as some really cool people, so you can hang out with us there. There's the Twitter and Facebook, where you can get more news on the games that Yizbrid publishes, and any announcements that need to be made go through those channels, plus the Discord. This episode will be up on YouTube in the next couple days. Thank you, Rob. And for those that are watching the end of this on YouTube, thanks for watching 4 episodes. Or maybe you skipped straight to this one. So thank you for watching 1 to 4 episodes. Greatly appreciated. And if you want to catch episodes live Thursdays, I don't know why my brain is just going to pick a random day of the week to talk about. Thursday, every week at 5 o'clock is, right now it's Resident Evil 4, the remake, and we will be continuing that, and we'll be ripping and tearing until it is done. I know it's a different something or other, but we're almost done with that one. And then next Sunday, I have no idea what's going to happen. Now that this is over, I can free up the brain space to come up with something else. I think Sundays, we will be continuing that until morale improves. Yeah. Sunday, I want to say things are going to return back to 5 p.m. That time has been all right. I know I mentioned before I may be switching things up to a 5:30 p.m. But my worry is that if I give myself a later start time, all that means is ADHD brain will find a way to be a half hour later to where I'm still rushing to get home and start things just as 5 o'clock does. So I'm probably going to just keep things 5 o'clock, and we'll just keep that as it is. But if there is an announcement of any time changes, I gave you those links too, so we'll have that there. I have been your incredibly incredibly mystified host, Fizz the Human. You can check out my website at findfizz.biz, because I'm a voice actor. And if you want to have me for one of your projects, or even shoot me a message that just says, like, hey, you're pretty cool, then like you can do that through my website. And then of course I have my Twitter at FizzTheHuman. You can see all of my retweets there, which I don't know. I just retweet random shit that I find on Twitter. It is what it is. But sometimes there's stuff that I do gets put up there when I do stuff occasionally, or when I remember to like talk about stuff I'm doing on here, because what is cross promotion? I don't know. It never happens. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and always keep your spirits up. Thank the mods. We love you. Thank you, Ocelot, for the trillionth time for facilitating the meeting of the minds here of myself and Al. Y'all are incredible people, and I greatly appreciate this experience. This has been a lot of fun. So everyone out there in the world, y'all have a good night, and hopefully see you on Thursday for Resident Evil, and if not, then see you Sunday for whatever the hell that I will have planned by then. I'm gonna go either sleep or play Final Fantasy 16, or play Final Fantasy 16 but sleep instead. We'll see which happens. So place your bets, I guess. I'm not gonna make a poll or anything like that. But I'm gonna go out on some video as we do, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, and have a great night. Toodles.